Hey class, welcome to week 4. So this week we are working on our icon set that is going to be turned in for your final project on Saturday. So if we go over, I just wanted to kind of go over what is due this week so you guys don't have any questions. This week, on Wednesday, you will be turning in a critique report. So this week you're expected to give each other feedback and critique in VoiceThread on your icon set project draft. So you can help each other out. And then you will turn in a report on your findings on that on Wednesday. And then on Saturday, you will turn in your final icon sets. So let's just dive in really quickly on what I'm expecting as far as your critique report for your icon set. So you're going to be expected to participate over the course of 3 different days. You're going to be responding to questions that you have, like people are asking you. You're also looking for ways to just help as many classmates as you can. So that's what actively engaged in critiquing means. You do need, as a minimum requirement, you need to leave at least 3 different comments on people's voice threads. So again, that's at least 3 different classmates. So, as far as critique goes, make sure that you tell them what they did well. Say something nice that they did, whether it's meeting minimum requirements or whatever you see that you think they did really good on. And then just provide specific feedback on how they can improve. So, the best, most helpful way is to just point out things that you notice that could be improved, as far as like, do they have thin strokes that don't look intentional? Do they have sizing issues? Is one of their icons unidentifiable and they should get rid of it? Just things like that can really help them progress more with their icon set. Make sure you're using drawovers when you're explaining it to them so they can like really understand what your feedback is. And then another thing, since this is your first week, if you notice some of your peers already have 3 comments, maybe choose a different peer to leave feedback with, just to make sure that everyone gets as much feedback as they can. So we just want to spread it out, and this will help everyone get some feedback there. Another requirement is to make improvements with your project. So take the feedback that you get from your classmates or me, and then enhance your project. And you can even upload a new version of your improved project to your original VoiceThread. And you can see that again through those tutorials that are posted in VoiceThread if you have questions on how to do that. And it's always a good idea to fill out this critique report while you're doing your critique, because then you don't have to go back through on Wednesday and say, well, which ones did I leave feedback on again? So just open this up before you even get to VoiceThread, and you can just fill it out as you go. So this critique report, you're going to be telling me who you critiqued, the day you did it, and then you're going to leave me a link. Sometimes it won't let you do that with it being in Canvas, so mostly just the name and date will be great. And then just tell me what you did for your 3 days. So you're going to be, again, actively participating in 3 days worth. So I just want to know what you did on day 1. Did you leave feedback to a couple students? Day 2, you left feedback and you updated your VoiceThread and uploaded it. Day 3, you left feedback and answered some questions. Like, I just want to know what you did. And if you didn't participate, just simply put, I didn't participate. And then tell me right here an explanation of how it helped you. So what feedback did you actually get from your peers, and what did you do to change your project to implement those critiques that you got? So you're just going to be inserting your explanation here. Make sure that you're actually telling me what specifically they said to change. Don't just say they gave me some good feedback and I was able to make some updates. That's very generic and that's not actually going to give you full credit. So make sure you're telling me specifically what they told you to do and how you changed or you're planning on changing. Okay. So again, that is due on Wednesday. Make sure you turn that in to get full credit there. And then we also have our icon set final. So that is due on Saturday. So again, just to review what is expected of you. You are going to be doing all of this in Illustrator. You're creating 4 to 6 original icons, so make sure there's no symbols or anything like that that you're using from something else. All of it is original work. Each icon communicates a single message. Your set of icons are consistently designed. So we kind of talked about that with rules, right? So we looked at these examples and they all are consistent with certain rules and things. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Do you have certain guidelines that you're using throughout to show that repetition? No text, gradients, drop shadows, pixels, raster effects. So make sure that you're keeping on top of that. And then part 2, so parts 1 and 2 are going to be turned in with your final project. So again, turn in this part along with the new section of your project report. So in your project report, part 2, you don't really have to worry about attribution again because you are creating your icons by yourself, so you don't need to worry about that part. But you do need to tell me more again about your target audience, and you're going to be explaining main design decisions and then giving me a design analysis, and I'll go over that maybe right now. Let's see. So I think your project report, it looks like it's not in this one. So you find that with your draft and you just would open that same one up and do it that way. So I think I'm going to actually go do that so I can look through it. Okay, so if you come up to week 3, you have your icon set draft. And it has that project report. So that's where you'd find it. Again, you've already filled out part 1, so just keep all of that the same unless you notice with grades, if I say something like your audience is too broad or your message doesn't make sense or something like that, maybe you probably want to update that. Or if you left anything blank, you'll still get marked down on your final project report if you don't have things filled out. Like if you don't have your sketches, you'll still be marked down for your sketches if you don't have that. So make sure that part 1 is filled out completely. And then part 2, so you're going to be including an explanation of how or why this design appeals to your target audience you outlined in part 1. So how does it actually appeal to your target audience? Main design decisions, you're going to be including an explanation of some of the main decisions that you made while you're creating your design. So just include that here. Again, this is a report, so make sure you're using sentences and just make it sound complete as far as your explanation goes. And then this part, your design analysis, that's where you tell me how you use contrast, how you use repetition, how you use alignment, how you use proximity, and what color scheme you use with your icon set. So this is where you would include all of that information here. You don't have to worry about typography and you don't have to worry about photography because we haven't gotten into that with the icon set. But make sure you are talking about all the principles of design and color in here with your design analysis if you want to get full credit for that. Again, that is due with your final project of your icon set on Saturday. And let me see if there's anything else really quickly that I wanted to go over with your final icon set. I did want to talk about briefly, it'll tell you right here what your design expectations will be. So you're going to be graded on your understanding, application, and integration of the principles of design and color. We're not worrying about typography and photography for this assignment. So you're just going to be using evidence of original thinking and skillful use of concepts. So we've learned about contrast, we've learned about color schemes, and we've learned about different design rules and things like that with icons. So that would be things like, if you do have strokes around your icons, are they intentional? Are you using shapes that, or are they, sorry, if your icons have curves and things, are they, do they look professionally curved, or are they kind of jagged and weird? So those kind of things are things that we're going to be looking for. And those are things you should give feedback on when you guys are giving critiques. You can also look down here and you can kind of see what the project criteria is. So if you meet all your expectations as far as you have those 4 to 6 icons and you meet all those expectations that are right here, all that stuff, you'll get 15 points. If you turn in your project report and it's filled out completely, you'll get those 3 points. And then you will be graded from 7 to 0 points based on your design. So if you're not really showing any understanding of the application, you don't really have anything going on, you might get 0 points, but I really never do that unless it's very, very obvious that they didn't even try. Usually people are around this range. So you'll always get some kind of points uh, based on your design. And that's why it's good to keep working on your assignments so that you can get closer to this. Again, I do have office hours every week, so make sure that you come to those. And I'll leave it in the announcements when it is again, and my office number, or yes, my office where it is. Make sure that you guys take advantage of that. You can also take advantage of tutors and open up lab hours too if you need extra help that way. So hopefully you guys have a great week, and we'll see you on Friday.